Hello everybody and welcome to Messages from Energy here on the Astro Flower. Hope you're doing well, hope you had a good week. Sunday night's live at 2100 hours UK time, GMT time, was amazing. It was really lovely to see a lot of people, a lot of questions, hopefully a lot of understandings as well. Visited a few spirits and stuff like that. It's quite funny. It was more than funny. It was a beautiful experience. I really enjoyed it. I hope you really enjoyed it. You can see it on our channel, and obviously, okay. Just wanted to say thank you, and I wanted to also say thank you to all the new subscribers we've had this week. We're having a real flurry that's going on at the moment in accordance to you know, the energies and so forth. So I just sort of say thank you for your confidence in this channel, and yeah, welcome. So yeah, administration out of the way, let's get on to the energies. Now, I talked last week about the combination of water and earth, which we saw in the weekly readings on Thursday and Fridays for the star signs, and I felt that this week. I don't know about you, it's been emotionally very supportive in the sense that the earth energy is giving like a foundation that's constantly backing up the emotion. So it gives us the freedom to express and explore our emotions this week. It's been really beautiful. I hope it's been beautiful for you as well. Once you get into the rhythm of things, and we're into this whole sort of changing of time, when we saw that clock and so forth last week as well. We'll have a quick look at that as we go through later on when we go down to the center of the earth and see what's going on. We also want to have a look because there's been more power outages. I haven't got round to do the longer term solar cycle video. I think we're at the end of solar cycle 25 now pretty much, and we're into the descent basically. So but there's been some more outages, and I would like to do a really big video on that because it's going to affect us more and more in the coming future, and the more and more we can be conscious of it, the more and more we can actually have an interaction with this changing energy, and the more we interact with it, the more we can create something collectively which will provide us or create a whole new world, a whole new way of being. You know, the common sense revolution is finally coming to fruition, which I've been talking about for the last 3 or 4 years. So, you know, it's, yeah, beautiful energies. Once you can get into it and take away the stress and strains and realize that it should be fun, not necessarily easy. I'm not saying it's easy. There's there's work, and Tanya and myself are working a lot in the background. But that work is being bolstered by that earth energy that's been coming through. And and looking at the sun, we may have a bit of fire that comes through this week here. So I think we're going to be looking at mainly, to be honest, earth and fire energy. But it depends on those filament energies as well, which is water energy, and how that will affect the earth, and obviously then how it will affect your and my energy system, chakras and aura and stuff like that. Because when the energy changes on the earth, it will change the energy within you, because we are 100% dependent upon it. You take away the magnetic field of the earth and we are toast. So you know, your chakras and auras, the Akashic library will disappear, but that is not going to happen. Do not worry. That is not going to happen. So, you know, just being conscious of that helps you to avoid the potholes in life that we can get stuck in and kind of going, well, how did I get in here? You know, sort of thing. And it's made sometimes because we're not, you know, sometimes, and we all do it. I got caught out last week. I feel a lot better this week. Sometimes we're not paying attention to what's going on. And that's what I mean about bringing the consciousness into the situation and living your consciousness. And consciousness is a state of being. It's not, and that state of being is not just like that. You know, that is one process that allows you to understand your center of being. Once you have your center of being, this is why you get Buddha sort of, you know, with sleeping and so forth. Meditation is not just sitting, it's also living as well, a living meditation. That's what Buddha was all about, as far as I could tell. So, you know, getting into that and getting into that rhythm and feeling that rhythm helps you to avoid potholes as you go down the road, as it were. So here we are here, beautiful energies. I hope we're going to circumnavigate any sort of storms, because we're still in spring in the northern hemisphere, and we are getting a lot of showers and things like that. So hopefully we'll be able to avoid a lot of those sort of things today. I can see some clouds coming through, but you know, the Earth's energy is really beautiful at the moment. Certainly is here. Okay, so you know, just connecting to the general energies, we still have that sort of like, it plays more on the right hand side, and it's also sort of like encouraging like a completion of, it's as if like you've been building a car and now you're taking it out for the test ride, but you're going to have to push it to the limits in order to see whether it really works. And that's what it seems to be, like there's this eternal loop within us that allows this rhythm of life, and these rhythms are short and very long. We go into it majorly on the astro flower as well, and the rhythm of life as much as spring and autumn. And that rhythm there seems to be, the energy seems to be kind of going, okay, well, look, now let's push it. Let's see how far we can go with this direction in life and within your own life, within your projects and so forth. And tying up loose ends and allowing that rhythm to start working for you, I think will help you to explore the beauty of living life fully, basically. So let's, you know, that's it. The energy is really nice. It's very calm and stuff like that. And there is a bit of sort of like, I think it's also demanding as well, in a nice way, you know, and it's like an honest way rather than honest but fair sort of way. That's what it feels like. Really, really nice sort of stuff going on there. So yeah, it's starting to play a little bit into the chakra, the chakras. So let's just get into the chakra sequencing. So if you haven't seen the video on finding your point zero, this is what we're doing at the moment, just finding the point zero. This is where we get into the NI, nature intelligence. So there we go, we've got the, everything goes calm. And waiting for that first, here we go, we got the first connection there. That's playing beautifully into our connection to all energy. And we got the crown chakra and the root chakra. This is where I think the root chakra here is also, it's particularly playing on the left hand side. And because it's playing on the left hand side, I think it's kind of like, this is where that firmness in energy, the honest but fair sort of energy sort of thing, energy is coming through. It's kind of like making sure you got your T's crossed and your I's dotted when you're doing things. And that could be talking about administration as well, you know, with the human matrix. But it's also within your life. It's got to be really the fundamental foundation of what you wish to do. Make sure that that foundation is solid, so it gives you a really good sense of springing forward. Okay, so that's really in a line. That's the vertical energy, the staff of Hermes, or your raison d'etre between your crown and your root chakra, because your crown and your root chakra is actually the same chakra. It's just the back end and front end sort of scenario, and it's going through, and it's, the consciousness is emptying like a bucket of understanding upon the rest of the body. The way the energy is really slowly filtering down, almost like one of those chocolate fountains in a restaurant, you know, as it comes down. Where's it going to next? It's staying true to the root and the crown. This is very interesting, but it's also playing into the solar plexus. Now, I think this is the crossing the T's and dotting the I's, and it seems as if like there's a being just, that's what I mean about being honest and stuff like that. There's a just in your actions, in whatever you do, in the physical sense. All your determination, your courage and your confidence going forward should be based upon how you've set the foundation. And so you can rely on that foundation and have the confidence to move forward. So I think it's like, if things go slightly awry, I would certainly look at that, but it's still playing really on the root and the crown chakra, the raison d'etre. This is what I talk about, sort of like energy's coming in and pushing it, as it were, to its limit. The solar plexus is playing there. It's just moving out of the solar plexus, and this is where we come into the third eye, coming much more into the third eye, and the throat chakra. The throat chakra is a lot lighter. Now the throat and the third eye is the same chakra. It's just like a U-shaped chakra. So you get the third eye at the top and it does a U shape, and you get the throat chakra at the base. And there was a big difference between chakras in front and behind. I go into that on my workshops, but here it's really asking not to overthink things and keep it really, I want to say regimental, but rhythmical, really sticking to a simple tempo. We're not getting into, salsa music here, which has an offbeat and what have you. This is really sort of like, 4/4 music, really sort of straight, as it were. And that's really good. And it's here, it's also a sort of kind of saying, how you project your thoughts is really important as well this week. Not necessarily project it verbally, but certainly how you project them into your pathway, your dreams, or your ideals rather, of what you want to manifest going forward. And that's playing a lot more on that sort of side within that. And I think the thinking is very internal this week, rather than thinking about what's going on around you. It's a question about where you are going, and it should be quite straightforward. Okay, otherwise it may muddle your thinking a little bit. Just keep it simple. The kiss sort of system, as it were. Okay, so there it's going now. It's going back down to, it's coming through the solar plexus, and yeah, the solar plexus is releasing there. It's sort of standing out the way. It's standing out the way and allowing it to go into the sacrum. And this is what I mean about the fundamental desires. This will give you, once you have that clarity in your thoughts, or in your sort of like the program, or the plan of action you have within you. Once it's clear within that, then it can go down to your sacrum, and that's when you can really put in your fundamental desires. And it's beautiful. There's a lot of joyous energy, by the way. I haven't really sort of said that, but there is a lot of joyous energy, and it's that excitement about it working, and working at full speed. We're really starting to pick up the speed in a way within the energy, and it's like a purring motor that's got so much potential, and it's now we're going to try it out. And that foundation should be based upon happiness and joy, but not, once you start getting that joy from within you, you can share that joy with everyone that is around you. So that's really important, more than anything else. And here it comes back up, so it's moving back out of the sacrum. I've got to say that the root and the crown are still humming in the background. It's very interesting. It's all about being straight as a die at the moment. Okay, and it's gone back up to the throat chakra here. Now let's just see what's going on there, because it's twice it's come back in. The third eye is sort of at peace, at rest, and the throat chakra, this side here, is explaining the beauty of living. This is your conversation. This is where you're going to this is where, when you're talking to people, say, look, I'm really enjoying this, or I like doing this and exploring this aspect of life. If you're talking that or communicating that with people around you, you'll notice that they will then also enjoy things, but then they will also be able to open doors for you, create coincidences or synchronicities, which helps you into sort of like following your path. You know, each step that you do on your path, the path comes up to meet you. We create it as we go, and it seems to be like that, but there is a degree of communication that has to happen, and it is a very light, enjoyable communication and engagement with other people that are around us. And it's also, you know, holding, you know, sort of holding out your hand as well. You don't have to walk for people. You don't have to do it for other people. You just have to help them to stand up. Once they're standing up, then kind of go, let's go for a stroll. Or you just go for a stroll, you know. And it's helping rather than doing for others, you know. So, but don't forget about your path. Whatever you do not forget about your path. It is the most important path of all, okay? And it is moving out of that. It's coming back down again. And it's like the cup within the heart chakra. And this is where the consciousness is being poured out into this cup. And the heart chakra is really purring and slowly opening like a lotus flower. And it's really, it's allowing that peace and happiness and that engagement, and you can see, you'll be able to see energies a lot easier, and it will allow you to also stay on your path and follow your path, putting one foot in front of the other in a very rhythmical fashion and really enjoying it. It's like going on a train journey where you don't have to try hard to go forward. The train's doing the work. Just enjoy the view as you're going along. Enjoy the journey. Enjoying the journey. That's what the joy is all about. Enjoying pushing the limits as well, you know. Really, really beautiful energies. The heart is not under strain. It's not ecstatic, so it's not extreme. It's really got a beautiful, like the most amazing and most comfortable sofa or couch that you've ever laid on, you know. And it's allowing joy to exist in the existence of doing things within the material world, you know. Absolutely beautiful, really good energies. So let's just see where it's going on after that, because it's starting to move now. Well, that could well be the connection to the person that's just gone past. I think someone's just gone past. Just the energy just kind of go, what's going on? So just allow that to flow through, make sure that's not gone, so that's cool. And the solar plexus plays really well. Okay, just connect that, find the 0.0 as it's coming back through. And it does come back up to the third eye and the throat chakra, and that's a little bit sort of electric as well, and more than anything else. It's a little bit electric. Communication is happening. Obviously Cody's found some new friends. But that crown and that root chakra are still going. And now it's coming back to that central point. Now we're starting to feel that central point. And we come back in the body. I think that solar plexus and the third eye was concerned with what is obviously going on around me here at the moment. So I'm just going to say hello, excuse me. Obviously they're occupied, so I'll leave them to it. So, yeah, you know, it is. Just imagine the excitement of getting something new into your life and trying it out for the first time. That's what it's all about. Once you get into this rhythm of life and find this almost perpetually nourishing or nurturing your own future, you will be able to sort of provoke or create openings for you as you go forward. And I've said this before, it's not about winning the lottery, because, you know, with every one lottery winner, there is millions of lottery losers. So I wouldn't put it, you know, don't put it all on red. sort of thing. You know, that's the sort of feeling I get behind it. So, you know, that's really important. That's sort of fun to come out of the heart chakra, and it's like the icing on the cake more than anything else. And I think the fundamental things with crossing the T's and dotting the I's is really important. Just making sure everything's working in the right timing, and that's when you can really put your foot on the accelerator in life. Okay, so that's really good. It's really nice energies. Okay, I can feel as well in the aura. The aura is orientated via the forward, and it could be the fact that I'm talking to you, as it were, so it's pulling my energy forward a little bit more. There's less energy behind me in my aura than it is in front of me. It's a little bit like, you know, sort of like you know, like a spaceship, how they put the you know, the blaster screen out the front, as it were, you know. And but it's also sort of like just engaging forward motion. That's what it feels like in the aura. Okay, let's just let's just connect to that line. Let's find that 0 point again. There we go, just connecting to that energy line that's coming through at the moment. Don't overthink things. Okay, so now we're connected to that line. Now we're on the line there. Okay, energy's really picked up in the auras of the trees that are just behind the camera, as it were. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm just going to go back down that line. I'm now sort of like stretching my energy down, back down that line towards that crossing point. I've got that crossing point and the vortex, and we can go down into the vortex. This is much more intense, the energy that's going down there. So we're coming down now. I'm stopping because I want to have a look at that void. I will be doing a video. I know I said I do it last week. I'm really busy at the moment, and I do apologize, thousands of apologies, but I will be doing that. And we can see, like, you know, like sometimes, like when you're boiling like pasta or something like that, you know, you can, or you know, your lentils or whatever, you know, you can start seeing lines of bubbles in it, as it were, that come off from the gas. And it's these lines of bubbles are now starting to sort of converge, as it were, to those neutral points. And that seems to be like, it's almost as like it's building to start, you know, when bubbles meet, they, you know, they connect with one another and become a bigger bubble and a bigger bubble and a bigger bubble. And that's what it seems to be going like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't more sort of power outages and complications to do with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and things like that. So, you know, there's a lot going on, and there seems to be a lot accumulated over the Europe area at the moment, and we're also getting down in south of the United States towards Mexico, that sort of area there as well. And we do have this sort of like the crossing over when down north of Australia as well, but the accumulation still seems to be going up towards you know, China and Siberia and that sort of way. It seems to be a big accumulation in that. That's going to be interesting to see what happens in that. And now he's a very vocal young man. So I'm just going to go down, and there we go. I can see the central energy now. And there we go. There's that sphere of plasma, because the center of the earth is not made of molten, as far as I understand. It is a plasma ball from the sun. You know, it is part of the sun, and that's why when the sun, you know, the prana energy sends out, it triggers the center bit, which then radiates through the rest of the earth. So I can see it there. It looks really shiny. I'm just looking at the different levels or the different layers of energy that's going through. There's a definite accumulation as well that's quite tight to it, and it's a very tight energy. It's almost as if like the spring is being loaded very slowly. It's not ready to be released, not as far as I can see, but maybe that spring. And then I talked about it the other week about the way the earth breathes, as it were, and that energy could push those bubbles through the surface at times. So it'd be interesting to look into that. We're going into the center of the plasma ball. Here we go. We've got the vortex and everything like that. Let's just see what's going and the vortex, the portal, see what's going on there. Okay, so we can now see the Akashic Library, which is really now it's in full flow, and that could be reflecting of that energy of putting our foot to the floor and allowing things to go. The Akashic Library, which there's a section that is in the center of the earth at the moment, it's almost like a safeguard, you know, because the main Akashic Library is not in the center of the earth, and it's almost like a safeguard that if anything happens to the main Akashic Library, there's still this backup happening at the moment. It's like a defragmentation, really. It's really beautiful, and it's organizing the spirits and the souls that come into this Akashic Library, which you know, we went to in those other videos and so forth, you know, and that seems to be very organized. And the administrators are really, they're almost sort of like, it almost feels a little bit like Cape Canaveral, like NASA. Like they're looking, but without getting involved, as it were, you know. Okay, here's my administrator friend who's come to see me. Okay, he's pointing to something on the tablet. I need to look at that tablet. I have been looking at that tablet quite a lot, that we discovered about 2 or 3 months ago, that I was given in the center of the earth, and I need to look into that apparently. So I'll look into that, and that may have something to do, seems to be telling me about solar cycles and what's coming up in solar cycle 26 and so forth. So I'll have to, that'll go into that video that'll come out this week about the prediction of energies over the next 10 years. Okay, so thank him for that. And he's just like kind of going, good luck, go for it. That's what he's sort of saying. It's real, energy is really, really good at the moment. Okay, let's just bring in a message from that sort of, I do want to see that light is shining very through, as we've been talking over the last few weeks, in the center of the portal. And it's much more directive now, almost it's like got a line of sight, as it were. And it does go through, and you know, go through the center of the plasma ball, and it is fixing the new poles, north and south poles in the future. I think this is where the reorientation comes in, and there's a definite reorientation that's going on in there. Let's just see what the message is from this week here. Life is just like a photo, which is part of a film. Create the film, you know, every day, create the photo that makes the film. That's what it's trying to say to me. So when you wake up, engage like today is a brand new day. And it's like today could be the day that we explore everything. And then, you know, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will always get there. But today is just having that sort of mantra of sort of kind of saying, today is the day that I will film part of that whole sort of film that I'm going to be making, that is out of my life. Being engaged in it and really living it, and not allowing the human matrix, you know, the human world to sort of define it more than anything else. So that's the message that comes from the portal and that. Let's just slip out of that portal. So we're just going between the, you got to go, it's a little bit like re-entry of a you know, the SpaceX or whatever it is, you know, when it comes back into the atmosphere of the earth, it has to come in a particular angle. And when you come out of the center of the earth, you got to come out of a particular angle, so you don't sort of like just get bamboozled by it. So there we go, we're out in the center, and now we can see the different vortexes that take you into different places around the solar system and the universe, you know, well, the solar system primarily. And I'm just waiting for my portal that comes back to here, to this crossing point. But in the meantime, let's just get a message from the earth. It's like a loving mother. That's the best way to describe it. The energy that she's providing, it's, you know, if you've had children and you've seen them grow up, and it's never stopping the wondrous exploration or connection that we have with our kids. You know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, you know, or sometimes it's difficult rather, and there's swings and roundabouts. But it's almost as if, like, you know, as a parent myself, it's almost looking at your kids and filming what they're doing without them knowing it. Oh, that sounds really weird, but filming them without them knowing it, but for you to take away with you as memories, just seeing them explore life and engaging in life, and you know, and it's not easy, and we've all cried at some point going along the road, but don't try and block them from experiencing, encouraging them to experience it. And this is the earth sort of saying, I have labored a long time, way before humans existed, and it is so beautiful to see humans that are now waking up to their full potential. And it is like the pinnacle of the nurturing, like a parent would do for a child. It's really beautiful, and it's just sort of saying, enjoy, I have your back, do not worry about the earth. That is, she's okay, she's fine, you do not have to worry about her. She's sort of saying, more than anything else, worry about your conscious expansion within the energy that is around us and everything that exists within life, or within your life, be it building a house, or you know, doing a job, or being a therapist, or whatever it is, just being fully engaged and enjoying every step along the way. And look at it as you're nurturing, like a child or a flower or something within your garden. Absolutely beautiful, and I thank you very much for that. You know, the Earth Gaia, very beautiful. I'll see you soon. Yes, thank you. So I can see now the vortex coming through. It changes the colour, so it helps me to recognise what it is. So as that vortex comes through, I can jump into the vortex, and then we get taken back up to that crossing point, which is just behind me there. Out of the crossing point, I can almost sort of see, there we go, and I come into sort of out of body experience, and back into the body there, sitting in, buckling in, re-engaging with the chakras and the aura, finding that neutral point. I didn't check on the clock, did I? I think that's a good thing. As I said last week, it's between 4 and 10 years, that sort of clock's countdown sort of happening, as it were. And you know, I particularly don't want to sort of like, I'm very conscious trying not to scare people, because there's nothing to be scared of, ever, really, ever. There's nothing to be ever scared of. You know, as a person who's, I had an accident when I was a young man, and I did that whole NDE experience, and I was fortunate enough to understand from that point there that shouldn't worry about anything. You know, shouldn't worry about money, that's for sure. That is a real sure. Don't worry about that. You know, yeah, unfortunately, you know, people are asking me for money, so you know, if people didn't ask for me money, I wouldn't ask for anybody else for money. It's just the way it works. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people asking for money, so, you know, but do not try and get involved in that. Try and stay within the idea that this is what I should be doing. And it's not that everything will be provided for you, but certainly the opportunities will be presented to you. It's up to you to take it. That's what the whole free will is about. The universe can't provide every single thing. It provides everything, but it can't just do the life for you. It can't live your life for you. That's not how it works. Only you can live your life. And if I was you, I would live it as fully as you possibly can. Okay? So yeah, I think that's what this week here is really sort of testing it and seeing how far we can push things in the way of energy. It's going to then set off a notion of perpetual development or change. Cody has just found a stick, my dog. He's obviously sort of saying, okay, I'm fed up with sitting around, I want to play now. So he's come to present me a stick, bless him. So this is it, getting on with life. But you know, I think the more we get involved in it, the quicker things and the easier the transition will be. But only you can do it. I can't do it for you. You know, only you can live your life. And you know, once you start living your life, we'll all be able to sort of turn around to each other and go, oh, hey, how you doing? You're living your life, fantastic. Okay, yeah, let's head down this way. You know, and you know, you'll find that there's lots of people that are going a similar direction to what you're going in. Or you know, but they're not on your path. You are the only thing on your, or any person or spirit on your path. Maybe we should do a video and a live on that for Sunday night. That'd be really interesting. Yeah, we might do that as a topic for the live of Sunday. It's 2100 hours UK time, questions and answers, and experiencing and expanding our understanding and knowledge of things. Okay, so yeah, there you go. It is experimenting by putting the, you know, your foot on the accelerator this week. Beautiful energies. Thanking you very much for all the support you give to this channel. Thanking you for all the comments and everything like that. It's absolutely beautiful. In order for this transition to happen a lot easier, maybe you want to have to share this video. Just share it with everyone that you know. Why not? You know, when we all get on that sort of rhythm there, that's what the common sense revolution is all about. We don't actually need anything, we just need common sense. So you know, it's yeah, I just thank you for all of that sort of like support you give to this channel. It's absolutely beautiful to see. I will see you soon, either on the readings on Thursday night for earth and fire, or on Friday for water and air, and also those energy videos that we will do for the weekend and the live. I will probably see you there. Thanking you very much for all the support, and I will see you soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.